everyone, and welcome. This is the North Country Outdoor Channel. I am Eric, and as the title implies, let me explain. And by that, I feel like, even though I don't need to, it's who I am. I overthink everything. I overanalyze everything. I'm a walking freaking overanalyzer. That's what I do. And I don't like the negativity coming my way. Nikita, shut up. We're trying to make a video here. Quit. Go lay down. Go lay down. We're in the woods. She hears a squirrel. She wants it. Yeah, I'm in the woods right now because why? Motherfucking freedom, right? And I just want to explain to you guys a little bit of my position. And I think a lot of people, they think that I come in as a far right-wing extremist, okay? And that's just not the case. I'll say that I don't lean left, but I'm not an extremist. I'm just a guy that's owned a company. I'm 33. I've owned a company. I've let that company go. I've been married for 15 years, and I'm 33. I mean, well, I've been married for 11. I've been with her for 15. I mean, there's just certain things in this life that I've done and I've been through that a lot of people can't say that they have. And there's things that I'm proud of. And, you know, I've owned my own home for 11 years now, and I'm actually getting ready to move to Alaska. Spoiler alert, but we'll go into that later. That's not for this video. So I need to tell you guys how I feel and where I'm coming from. And so the biggest issue that I get is when I say something on Facebook, providing Facebook doesn't take it down because of censorship. People always say, where's your proof? Show me your proof. So I go to my news source, which is probably not your news source, and I'll pull up an article and, you know, I'll try to use that article as proof. And sometimes they come back with an article from the left-wing media and they try to prove me wrong. Sometimes, you know, they just tell me that that's just fake news and you're a crazy conspiracy theorist and this and that. And okay, so here's what I did. Here's what I did for you guys. We're gonna make it simple. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna chew our Copenhagen while we make this video because fucking freedom, and I can. Nobody tells me what I can and can't do, what I put in my body, right? I'm putting this in my body because I want to. Is it bad? Yeah. Some people may say it's bad, but it's what I choose to do. Well, guess what? I'm choosing not to put a vaccine in my body, and I'm being extremely persecuted for it, and it's ridiculous. So anyway, take a breath, Eric. Get back to the topic at hand here. What I did is I simplified it. And we're going to talk about some things that you don't need proof for because we see it with our own eyes. And if you don't see it, I don't know what to tell you. Make a freaking eye appointment, because the stuff that I'm about to tell you is stuff that I've witnessed firsthand. And if you haven't witnessed something firsthand, then it's definitely hearsay. I'm just going to say that. So a lot of the stuff that I do say is hearsay. But here's what I've witnessed firsthand, and I do not need proof for, okay? Nikita, quit whining, please. Honey, can we please just make this video for the people so they know how Daddy feels? Can we do that, please? Maybe they'll quit yelling at me and telling me I'm crazy. Is that possible for you to shut your face for 5 minutes? Okay. In years past, election night, I remember staying up late. You'd be able to stay up on election night and know who the president is, okay? That's years past. The 2020 election comes along, and this is just election stuff. I don't even really give a shit about it, but I'm just telling you. This is stuff that I seen with my own eyes. If it can be disputed, then it can be disputed. But you did not know who the president was election night. In fact, there was states, and now I can hear it now. People are going to come in and say, show me the proof. I seen it with my own fucking eyes on CNN, guys. There were states that were 98% reported and hung us out for another 2 days to find out that other 2%. Well, mail-in votes. Guess what? Some of these states, mail-in votes were counted the day before November 3rd. So don't pull that shit with me. Now, I don't know that for sure, and you probably don't know some of that for sure, but this is what I seen, okay? I seen 98% reported, hung out for a couple days. I seen Nevada say, fuck it. We're done for the day. We're done counting votes. We're going home. We'll be back tomorrow. What's up with that, right? I'm not going to talk about the big dump of ballots in Detroit in the middle of the night, because that footage, I did see it. I think we all did. It could have been doctored. I didn't see it with my own 2 eyes, right? I'm just talking about stuff that I've seen with my own 2 eyes that isn't right. And if there's enough that's not right about it that you can cast a shadow of a doubt, then maybe it needs to be investigated. That's all I'm trying to say. Nikita, stop. Stop, please. Secondly, you cannot deny that we're being censored. Nikita, stop, please, honey. Take your toy. Here. Have your toy. Play with that. I know. You probably want to get out. We're being censored. It's possible that this video gets pulled down. I've seen censorship happen to me. I've seen it happen to other people. That's not normal. That's not free speech. And then the people are going to come out and say, well, you're on Facebook's platform, so you got to follow what they say. Well, okay, I get that. But that was never a thing until election time. If you speak about election fraud, if you speak bad about the vaccine, if you speak bad about anything, they pull it down because there's a narrative behind it. If it doesn't match their narrative, then they don't want it on Facebook. So there's your censorship, okay? We've all seen it. We've all seen it. Why are people sitting there saying that there's things happening and my constitutional rights are not being stepped on when they are? I mean, I'm not saying they're being taken away yet, but they're definitely being stepped on, okay? Now, let's move on to something else that we all see. Not we all, I see. And, you may have somebody in your family where you see this too. But my wife is an RN. And for the uneducated, that means registered nurse. My wife is a nurse. And she worked through the entire pandemic. She was mandated overtime. She didn't bitch. She wasn't paid $1 more. And the nurses and doctors are what carried this country through this pandemic. And guess what? Because she's choosing to not get the vaccine, she's not going to have a job in 3 weeks because her employer is mandating that she gets a vaccine. And you're telling me that that's okay. You people over there on the left are telling me that it's okay that my wife carried this country on her fucking back through this pandemic. And what they're going to do to her is just throw her on the street because she don't want to get the vaccine. If that's the way you feel and you feel like, well, it's a privately owned entity and they can do whatever they want, your attitude proves a lot to me, because that's one way to look at it. But I beg you to look at it from my standpoint, where I'm not convinced that the vaccine is a good thing. Am I saying it's a bad thing? I believe that it is, but I can't prove it because I haven't seen it. I've only read about it. So all I can do for you is come to you with things that I've seen with my own 2 eyes and try to portray to you that portray is not the right word, because portray can sometimes mean other things. I'm trying to get across to you that none of this stuff was happening. Nikita, none of this stuff was happening before the 2020 election, okay? As far as Joe Biden goes, I don't hate Joe Biden. I don't hate anybody. I don't even hate you for hating me. That's just not me. I don't hate anybody. Shout out to my best friend, Labby Services, Cadillac, Michigan. Joe Biden can't even put a sentence together, okay? And you're like, well, what are you talking about, Eric? What are you talking about, Eric? I watched the fucking town hall meeting 45 seconds of him hemming and hawing, he couldn't put the sentence together. And that's not the first time I've seen it. I'm just seeing things where I feel like his mental health isn't stable. I feel like he's not stable. And I feel like he's a puppet. I feel like somebody has got their freaking hand up Joe Biden's ass, right up in that asshole like this. And they're just working him. And I don't even know if he's alive. He might even be dead. And they're just up in there working his ass. That's how I feel, okay? Am I wrong? Maybe. Maybe he's playing stupid. But you can't tell me that you didn't see him not be able to put together a sentence at this town hall meeting. And this is just one example. Show me more examples, Derek. Show me more examples, Derek. Show me more examples, Derek. Shut up. I'm just trying to tell you that there's anomalies in this country right now that weren't there before. And it was caused by an election, okay? Whether that election was stolen or whether that election was not stolen, the anomalies are still there. And it's very concerning for somebody that loves their freedom as much as I do. And that's all I want to tell you guys, okay? That's it. I love you all. I don't hate anybody, but it's easier for me to talk about the things that I've seen with my own two eyes, so we don't have to go to where's the proof, and then you got left-wing media versus right-wing media, and one of them's got to be right, I would think. Maybe they're both wrong. I don't know. But I'm sick of this fight, okay? Because a lot of this is bigger than Democrats and Republicans. We need to believe that most of us, I can't speak for everybody, but most of us believe in the same God, okay? And with that being said, you can be Democrat, you can be Republican, you can be racist, you can be white privilege, you can be liberal, you can be conservative. We all believe in the same God. And I feel like in order for this country to come back to where it needs to be is we all need to lean on that belief a little bit more, that we all have this one thing in common, couple things. We're human. We're all human. We all have families. We all have jobs. Well, I'm going to get called out for that. A lot of people don't have jobs right now because they're choosing to stay home. But you get what I'm saying. We're a country. We're all people. And we all believe in the same God. But yet, we're sitting here fighting each other. And it makes no sense. And I want you to know, the people over there on the left, I read left-wing news because that's what's plastered all over my television. It's what's plastered all over Facebook, so I do read it, and I do read your comments that are negative towards me, and I do think about them, and I actually have this ability to understand a lot of the concepts and the values of where the left is coming from, because there's two sides to every story, right? So this happens, and I feel like there's two beliefs to everything that happens. This person can believe this, and this person can believe this, but the same event still happened. So why don't we take that, and the event is God, and that happened, and you believe this, and I believe this, and let's come together to God. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I have nothing else for you. I'm not a super religious person, but I can tell you that what's happening right now is some biblical shit. Just read the book of Revelation. I mean, it says that this is going to happen, that there's going to be a one world government, that there's going to be a takeover, that before he comes back, all of this stuff is set to happen. And I feel like you're really annoyed with my dog right now, and I am too, so I'm sorry. So I'm going to wrap this up. I love you guys. I'm going to continue to make videos, maybe political, maybe not. Maybe I'm moving to Alaska. Actually, I am moving to Alaska, but maybe I make videos about that. I freaking love you guys. Keep your head up. Just remember, tomorrow is a new freaking day. And if we all come together and lean on that same God that we believe in, we can forget about this, and we can forget about this, and we can focus on this, okay? I freaking love you guys. I'll see you next time.